Give me 25 minutes of your life and I'll hand you something people chase for decades, a way to master discipline that actually sticks. Not discipline as a mood, not discipline as a motivational quote, but discipline as a government you run inside yourself. Clean, calm, effective. And yeah, I'm gonna sound like your brutally honest friend in a hoodie here, because that's how this lands best. No fluff, no fake hype, just what works. I'm speaking to you in the same intimate human tone you asked for, direct, grounded, and built to be heard. Here's the frame. You are a city-state. Your time is your territory. Your habits are your laws. Your attention is your currency. And your emotions, they're the weather, sometimes sunny, sometimes messy, never fully in your control. Machiavelli would tell you that a ruler who waits for perfect weather loses the country. The ruler who builds dikes and channels the river, that ruler survives the flood. Discipline isn't about being hard on yourself, it's about governing yourself. Today, you become your own prince, not the cartoon villain with a cape, but the strategist who chooses what gets in and what gets out. We're doing this quietly, intelligently, and with a little swagger. Start by noticing this. Motivation is a party guest, loud, temporary, unpredictable. Discipline is a landlord, quiet, consistent, always collecting rent. If you try to build your life on motivation, you'll constantly be negotiating with your feelings. If you build it on discipline, you skip the negotiation and go straight to execution. Machiavelli wouldn't trust feelings to guard a border. He'd install procedures. So that's what we're going to do. Procedures you can follow when you're tired, distracted, bored, or stressed, especially then. Let's handle the biggest lie first. I'll do it when I feel like it. You won't. You feel like doing easy things right now because your brain loves immediate comfort. So we flip the script. You don't work when you feel like it. You work until you feel like it. That means the first 2 minutes are everything. If you can make the first 2 minutes automatic, the rest follows. Think of the opening of your day as a coup, swift, decisive, and bloodless. Your alarm goes off, your feet hit the floor, you drink water, you open the page, you hit the mat, you press play. No debates, no speeches, no parliamentary drama. The more you argue with yourself, the more power the opposition gains. So we remove the courtroom from your head. Machiavelli wrote about virtue and fortuna. Virtue isn't virtue like being nice. It's power of character, skill, boldness, agility. Fortuna is luck, storms, droughts, stock markets, traffic, your Wi-Fi dying right before a deadline. You can't control fortuna, but you can build virtue. Here's how that looks in real life. Build 2 layers for every habit, the ritual and the fallback. Ritual, the best case routine, the one you love when things go right. Fallback, the non-negotiable minimum for stormy days. If your ritual is a 45-minute workout, your fallback is 10 minutes of bodyweight moves. If your ritual is writing 1,000 words, your fallback is writing 150. If your ritual is reading 20 pages, your fallback is 5. You never do 0. The city might shrink during a siege, but it never surrenders the flag. The next move is straight Machiavelli. Use cruelty well used, not against people, against your own friction. Be ruthless once so you can be gentle forever. Delete the apps that eat your life. Block the sites that spin your willpower. Put your phone to sleep in another room like a toddler with too much sugar. If it hurts to press a new habit, reduce friction. If it's too easy to break a habit, increase friction. A lock on the pantry does more for your diet than 100 pep talks. A laptop that refuses to open social media before noon will keep your mornings clean. Front load the discipline into your environment so you don't have to arm wrestle yourself later. Let's talk identity, because appearances matter. Machiavelli says a ruler must avoid being despised or hated. Translate that inward. Avoid despising yourself. Keep promises to yourself in public, visible, trackable, undeniable. Wear the identity of a disciplined person like a uniform. That doesn't mean being harsh, it means being consistent. Put the book on your pillow before you leave for work. Lay out your gym clothes like a silent contract. Tape your checklist to the fridge. Your environment should whisper who you are before you have a chance to forget. People underestimate how far an identity uniform goes. If your morning hoodie is the one you train in, your brain doesn't ask if you're training, it asks what today's set is. Here's where we bring in the fox and the lion. The lion is forced time blocks, alarms, locked doors, calendar focus. The fox is cunning, temptation bundling, strategic rewards, social leverage. Be both. Block a 90-minute lion window where nothing gets in, and then let the fox make it sweeter. Only listen to your favorite playlist during that window. Only sip that premium coffee when the document is open. Only watch that show if you hit your daily minimum. Your brain learns. Effort unlocks goodies. That's not childish. That's training. Even kings train their horses with carrots and fences. You might be thinking, what about when I fall off? You will. Fallen isn't failed, it's data. Machiavelli warns rulers never to rely on the goodwill of fortune. You need a plan for when the river floods. Here's the 5-step siege protocol. 1. Breathe. Slow 5 breaths to reset the nervous system. 2. Move. Walk for 5 minutes to change state. 3. Micro win. Do the 2-minute version of your task. 4. Tighten the circle. Choose one task, one place, 1 hour. Nothing else exists. 5. Report. Text a friend or drop a note to your future self about what you did. A siege is broken, not by a miracle, but by getting supplies through the gate every day. You don't need to be heroic. You need to be relentless in small ways. Let's deal with your court, your advisors. In life, flattery is cheap and addictive, and feedback is oxygen. Choose advisors who care about the truth more than your feelings. For your craft, your health, your money, your mindset. That might be a mentor, a coach, a community, a friend who tells you the uncomfortable thing. Build a council meeting once a week, 30 minutes, 4 questions. What did I promise? What did I deliver? Where did I lie to myself? What gets fixed next week? Numbers don't flatter. If you planned 5 workouts and did 3, the number 3 has no opinion. Use that neutrality like a compass. If you journal, be your own hard counselor, 1 line of praise, 1 line of correction, 1 line of next action. Keep it short so you actually do it. Now the part nobody wants to hear. Your reputation is a fortress, not what strangers think, what you think when you look at your own track record. If you repeatedly tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, your inner populace learns that your promises are propaganda. Morale collapses, armies desert, revolts happen. The fix is simple and hard. Make only promises you actually keep. Shrink them until you can keep them even on your worst day. You are not allowed to promise heroic things and deliver dust. Deliver small, sure wins, and your inner citizens, the parts of you that feel worry, doubt, will start to trust the crown again. Trust is discipline's secret fuel. Let's get concrete. Pick 3 laws for your city. Not 10, not 20. 3. Law 1, a start time. Not morning, a start time. 7 a.m., feet on floor. Law 2, a minimum dose for your keystone habit. 10 minutes of movement, or 2 pages of writing, or 5 pages of reading. Law 3, a shutdown signal. Lights dim at 10:30 p.m. Phone goes to bed out of the room. That's your constitution. You can add other policies later, but the constitution rarely changes. If your day explodes, you still protect those 3. If you travel, you still protect those 3. If life sets your plan on fire, you still protect those 3. These are your flag on the castle. What about cruelty well used again? Here's the honest version. Be aggressively early with your boundaries and gentle later. Day 1, delete, block, hide, unfollow. Day 8, evaluate, adjust, restore anything that actually helps. It's easier to add back a tool than to break an addiction while you're trying to build a habit. People think self-discipline is an emotion they should feel in the morning. It's not. It's a lack of options at the moment of decision. It's walking into your kitchen and seeing a bottle of water, not a bottle of cola. It's opening your laptop and seeing your work page, not news. Design no option moments, and you'll feel oddly calm because the fight isn't happening inside you anymore. You moved it outside. Smart rulers move battles to terrain where they win. I want you to hear this part like I'm sitting across from you at a cheap table in a quiet cafe. You do not need to fix your whole life this week. You need to win this hour. You don't get disciplined for the rest of your life. You get disciplined for the next 30 minutes, and you re-up the deal after that. Everyone you admire renews their discipline like a subscription. That's it. Machiavelli studied men who inherited power and lost it, not because they were evil, but because they were soft. Comfort becomes a costume. If your day is too padded, you stop feeling the edges where life is asking you to step up. Bring back the edges. Put something on your calendar that is a little bit scary and completely doable. Make it the most important 90 minutes of your day. Guard it like a gate. Let's sharpen the fox again. Temptation bundling works because it makes effort feel like a personal brand, not a punishment. You don't have to grind. You get to put on your focus hoodie, walk into your little war room, and play your ritual track. You light the candle, set the timer, sip the coffee you saved for this exact moment. People chase luxury. This is luxury, a life you trust. The luxury brand is your name on a day that bends in the direction you decided last night. Give yourself 3 sensory anchors for discipline. 1 sound, 1 scent, 1 object. Train your brain like a Pavlovian athlete. We're not above this. We're smart enough to use it. Another Machiavellian rule: don't build fortresses that isolate you from your people. Translate that: don't isolate so hard you lose accountability and joy. Yes, protect your focus windows, but then open the gates and be with humans. Tell someone your goal. Better show someone your log. Post your streak somewhere that matters to you. Give 3 trusted people permission to ask you, did you do what you said? Pride that's earned beats the temporary sugar high of breaking your own rule. And don't underestimate the accountability of teaching. When you explain your system to a friend, you suddenly want to live up to it. Now let's talk conspiracies inside jobs. Your worst sabotage won't come from haters. It'll come from old you, whispering sweet nothings. We've been good lately, let's skip today. Let's scroll for 5 and then start. Let's plan more before moving. That inner conspiracy thrives in vagueness. Expose it with specifics. Write your top task as a verb plus a noun, plus a location, plus a time. Draft intro paragraph on kitchen table at 7:15. Warm up with squats in the garage at 6:10. Look how boring that is. Boring is good. Boring is strong. Revolutions die in boring, well-policed cities. We need to divide your territory. 4 provinces: body, mind, money, craft. Body is physical health, sleep, movement, food, sunlight. Mind is attention and emotion, meditation, therapy, journaling, reading. Money is your stability, spending, saving, earning. Craft is your work, creating, practicing, shipping. Once a week, 2 minutes per province, council meeting. What was the win? What's the weak spot? What's the next single move? You're not writing essays, you're pointing a finger. Sleep, lights out slipped, fix, dim at 10. Attention, afternoon doom scroll, fix, phone goes in the drawer, 2-5. Money, impulse purchase, fix, 24-hour rule. Craft, shipped 1 thing, next outline Tuesday. That's it, no drama, the state runs. Better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Relax, we're not turning you into a tyrant. But there is a version of that line that helps. It is better that your laziness fears your routine than your future self loves your excuses. You want your old habits to flinch when the morning playlist starts. You want your distractions to say, not during their deep work hours. And you want your future self 3 months from now to feel like they got lucky with you. Be both, feared by your inertia, loved by your future. How? Make your routines precise and a little intimidating, and make your self-talk warm and encouraging. Drill like a soldier. Speak to yourself like a coach. When life hits the breakup, the layoff, the flu, the surprise bill, remember Machiavelli's river. In calm times, build dikes. In flood times, climb to high ground and do only what keeps the city alive. That means during crisis, your job is to protect sleep, protect one keystone habit at minimum dose, and pay bills on time. That's it. Don't rebuild the cathedral in a thunderstorm. Keep the candles lit. When storms pass, don't sprint. Reset steadily. The city survives because the ruler didn't panic and burn their own stores. Travel. Here's your succession plan for foreign lands. Pack a tiny discipline kit, resistance band, paperback, index cards, pen, earplugs. The rule is, same time, smaller task. If you write at 7:30 at home, you jot 3 note cards at 7:30 in the hotel. If you train at 6, you do 10 minutes of band work at 6. Don't be dramatic, be consistent. You're not proving you're a hero, you're proving your laws travel. I want you to also love how this feels. Discipline gets pitched like punishment, but the real flavor is relief. It's walking into a clean mental room. It's catching your own eye in the mirror and not having to negotiate with a liar. It's putting on that hoodie and knowing who you are for the next hour. Material flex is cool. Time flex is royal. Watch people brag about things they can't control. You'll be over here quietly proud of what you can. Let's put teeth into consequences without becoming a jerk to yourself. If you break a law, you pay a fine. Not emotional, practical. Miss your daily minimum? 10 push-ups, extra chores. Donate $5. Text your accountability buddy a goat emoji and deliver the 2-minute version anyway. Quick, clean, done. No lectures, no spirals. The purpose of a fine is not pain, it's closure. You restore order and move on, and mercy matters. Great rulers know when to stop the bleeding. If you're running on fumes, shorten. Don't skip. If you're sick, sleep. Eat soup. Take a walk in daylight. You recover faster when you choose recovery. There's a difference between softness and wisdom. Softness says give up because it's hard. Wisdom says recover so you can come back hard. You're not in a romance with grind. You're in a long marriage with consistency. Let's make this street level simple. Here's a day that works. You wake, you hydrate, you move for 10 minutes, you open your hardest task for 30 minutes. You eat real food early, not just caffeine. You decide what time your work sprint happens and where. You keep your phone exiled. You take a walk at lunch. You have a second sprint or a study block. You pick one money move, look at accounts, pay a bill, transfer a small amount to savings. You lift or run or do yoga. You dim lights 2 hours before bed. You put the phone to bed and you read 5 pages. That's a city at peace. If you mess up, you apply the siege protocol and salvage something. Good days stack. That's the whole game. 5 traps to avoid. 1. New ruler syndrome. You try to change 20 things at once. Don't. Pick 3 laws. 2. Romance of complexity. You spend hours perfecting a plan and no minutes moving. Keep plans ugly and short. 3. Identity debt. You call yourself undisciplined and then act like it. Stop declaring bankruptcy on your own character. 4. Secret rebellion. You make rules so strict you immediately want to break them. Write rules you can love. 5. Lonely empire. You try to do it all alone and burn out. Get help, borrow discipline through community until yours compounds. People ask, what about passion? Passion is great. Passion is gasoline. But gasoline without an engine is just a puddle. Discipline builds the engine. When passion shows up, the engine flies. When passion leaves, The engine still runs. That's the grown-up difference. Be the person who works without fireworks and has fireworks anyway. Remember this line? Put it in your notes app. If it's not scheduled, it's not serious. If it's not tracked, it's not real. If it's not simple, it won't last. Schedule the law. Track the minimum. Keep it simple. Let's give your inner opposition a respectful nod here. Old you kept you alive. Old you found comfort when life was cold. Old you negotiated for ease when everything felt heavy. We thank old you, and then we retire them from command. They can sit on the council. They don't get the final vote. New you is kinder and stricter at the same time. Kind to your human limits, strict with your excuses. That combination is rare. That combination wins. Right now, wherever you are, we're going to lock in 3 things. Look down at your calendar or picture it. Choose a start time tomorrow for your first move. Pick the minimum dose for your keystone habit. Decide where your phone sleeps tonight. That's it. 3 levers. And then we stack a sensory anchor for focus, a ritual for opening the work, a shutdown time that protects sleep. No speeches, just a new government quietly sworn in. One last piece of Machiavellian strategy. Don't announce everything. Do it, then talk. Make your results the press release. Keep your circle tight while the habit is fragile. Widen it as your track record gets sturdy. You're not hiding, you're incubating. When people notice and ask what changed, you'll be able to say, deadpan and true, I run my day now. Here's what I want for you 3 months from now. You put on your hoodie, you brew your drink, you hit play on your ritual track, and you get to work. Your body knows the steps. Your brain doesn't beg for mercy. Your timeline isn't a war zone. You're calmer, not harder, sharper, not harsher. You don't fear your own promises because you keep them. And when fortune throws a storm at your gates, you don't freak out. You close the shutters, feed the people, and keep the flag up. The storm passes. It always does. Your city stands. You want a line that burns into your head. It's this: discipline is freedom, but it starts as obedience to the laws you wrote. You don't bow to moods. You bow to the Constitution you signed at your own kitchen table. And then this is the beautiful part. You discover that obedience to your best self turns into sovereignty. You don't feel trapped by your rules. You feel carried by them. If this hit you, act now while your will is warm. Put tomorrow's start time in your phone with an alarm. Place your shoes or your notebook by the door. Choose your focus track. Send one text to your accountability friend. I'm on. Ask me at 8 p.m. Then go do something that signals the beginning of a new reign. It can be small. Sign the paper. Lay out the clothes. Put the book on the pillow. Old you will try to bargain. Smile politely and say, we're governed now. You don't need to scream. You don't need to perform. You need to show up. Early, quietly, repeatedly. That's how empires are built. That's how lives are rebuilt. And that's how you, the modern prince of your one and only day, master discipline for good. Put on the hoodie. Run the play. And tomorrow morning, when your feet hit the floor, say it out loud just once so the city hears you. I govern myself.